this video, I'm gonna show you how I make a strawberry bundt cake for my lovely friend. She invited me over for dinner, and little did I know that I was the only guest. I thought that I was gonna go to a house full of people, but when I arrived, I felt super special. Now let me give you the full list of ingredients that you will need for this recipe. 3 eggs, half a teaspoon of vanilla, 2 lids of your choice of alcohol, whether it's rum, whiskey, or vodka, depending on your preference. And this is to cancel out the rancid smell and flavor of eggs. 3/4 of a glass of oil. For these measurements, I'm using glasses, like the same tall glass that you usually use in the kitchen instead of measuring cups. 1 glass of milk, 2.5 glasses of flour, 1 3/4 glasses of white sugar, 3 teaspoons of baking powder. You're gonna need tahini sauce. I use tahini sauce to grease the cake mold. Let's get started. I start off by zesting 1 lemon with a cheese grater. I transfer the lemon zest to the food processor, and I crack 3 eggs, and I blend them really well. Then I add 2 lids of rum to cancel out the rancid smell and flavor of eggs, and half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then I blend them really well. Then I start adding really slowly 1 3/4 glasses of white sugar, or 3.5 cups of white sugar, and I pour them really slowly, not all at once. While blending, slowly pour them on top of the eggs mixture. Keep blending them for a total of 6 minutes. I transfer the mixture to a big bowl, and I add 3/4 glass of vegetable oil, which is equivalent to 1.5 cups of vegetable oil. Then I add 1 glass of milk, which is equivalent to 2 cups of milk. Followed by sifting 2.5 glasses, which are equivalent to 5 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour. And I add the flour gradually to the mixture, and I whisk it as I add it. This way it doesn't form clumps, and it's easier to blend. You have to do it manually. You cannot blend flour in the electrical blender or in the mixer or anything electrical. You have to do it manually. And add it to the bowl and stir it into the mixture in the same direction, so either clockwise or counterclockwise. Then I add in 3 teaspoons of baking powder, and I keep whisking until the mixture becomes homogeneous. And as you see, I'm still doing it in the same direction. And you should have this kind of consistency at the end. Now I use tahini sauce to grease the mold of the cake, and I rub it onto the mold with my fingers. The reason why I use tahini is because it is the best thing to avoid any kind of sticking happening of the cake to the mold. You could use butter or you can use vegetable oil, but I find tahini sauce to be the very best when it comes to preventing the sticking. And I start pouring slowly 1/4 of the mixture into the mold. And then in a separate bowl, I pour another 1/4 of the mixture so that I can add the Jello powder. And I use 3 tablespoons of Jello powder for the mixture. And now I use the strawberry mixture to add as a second layer to the cake. I add the regular mixture as a third layer. I keep doing this until I run out of all the mixture. So the total is 5 layers of regular and strawberry mixture. Preheat the oven to 300 Fahrenheit from the bottom, not the top, if possible. And it's gonna take 1 hour to bake it. So you time it for 1 hour. And you cannot, I repeat, you cannot open the oven before 50 minutes into the baking process. It has to be fluffy, which will become like bigger than before. And the way to know if this is fully baked is you bring a wooden skewer and you pierce it to see if it's going to stick on it or not. And if it's fully baked, it will not stick on it. And you do this while it is still in the oven. You don't take it out of the oven to test if it's fully baked or not. Then you turn on the upper part of the oven to bake the top of the cake for 5 minutes or less, depending on whether the cake turned golden or not. Once it's done, you take it out of the oven and then you put a plate on top of it and you flip it upside down, and then the top of the cake becomes the bottom and vice versa. Et voila! That is the final result, and this is the tasty cake that you all could make at home. Bon appétit and best of luck!